All right, so in this video, I want to show you the framework of how everything looks. So this is called the underwriter website. They will do the underwriting of the borrower and pretty much give us the compliance that we need, and they will take care of all the documents. So you can see get Dodd-Frank compliant today. Here are my note buyers, some of them that I will work with. JKP Holdings, they have a great website. This guy here, I'm going to show you Nathan. He's also a note buyer. He leads the mortgage note investing conference that they're doing in Tennessee. He has a lot of connections, so I'm already in contact with people like them. So these are the people who would buy the notes from us after we create them. All right, so I want to come over here and show you a deal. All right, wait for the screen. All right, so here's a deal here that's located in Suitland. It's a condo. There's 115,000. It's a 2-1, 675 square feet. It's been on market 45 days. I've already seen it. As you can see here, just quick run through. Boom. A little dated, but it's a very nice condo. But it doesn't need any major repairs. It's pretty much cosmetic upgrade. All right. So if I scroll down here and I pull up my comps, the reason why I was drawn to this property so much is because this comp right here in 2009, which is in DC, South Street, it was 160,000 when it sold. And these pictures are, this is an unrenovated comp. So this comp sold for 160,000 and it was unrenovated 2-1, and that sold sometime last year. So as you can see, it's unrenovated and it sold for 160,000. All right. So we go back. And so when I saw that, and then I saw the other comps, all these other comps here that are in bold are renovated. 198 renovated. That's 0.21 square miles. This one here on 0.08, this one was renovated for 169. This one here, renovated for 184. This one for 198, just sold literally a couple weeks ago. 198. This one sold 185. So that's why I'm really interested in this deal. And if I go to the rent comps in the area, and these are comps based on property management companies, our place can rent for, I talked to the listing agent, as you can see here, pretty much $1,700 a month. Other comps in the area, we have comps at $1,300. We have comps at $1,800. So that gave me a lot of interest. Got comp at $1,900. And yeah, so that's why I like this deal. So let me show you my model of how I do all of this. So in this model, I have the price that we can acquire the property for 115. Since I'm writing the note at a 0.72% note ratio, right? I take that number 115 and I divide it by 0.72 to get my sales price. But in this model, because I have the comps in the area at 198, 195, and this zip code, the Zillow Home Value Index, is 320,000, right? This property lets you know where I need to sell this property at. So the minimum interest rate for a deal when I do seller financing is at 10% or higher. Why? Because I'm not the bank, I'm private, and there has to be a premium for doing a deal like this. So I'll at least get 10% down, and then from there, I plug in numbers. So right now I have it ran financing at 12% interest and 2 points. So that's like a short-term loan. If I was to do that and take this deal down, basically I'll be creating a first lien note at $103,000 and 103,680, and minus the 1,600 that I get. Basically, I'm in this deal where it would cost me maybe $2,300, basically vested in this deal. Now, is that money out of my pocket? Not necessarily, because that money comes from the down payment. That money comes from how I underwrite the deals with the notes. But this model just gives me a forecasting of what could happen with this deal. All right. So the second lien position that I'll be able to obtain on a deal like this is roughly anywhere between, it's $26,428. So basically the second lien will cash flow at $263 a month. And my first lien, let me scroll down right here. My first lien will cash flow at $1,000.54 a month. All right. I mean, $1,054 a month. Now, with that being said, this is at a 72% note ratio. And this is also me taking consideration if I sold the first note at 90% of the value. Basically, the first lien investor who buys this note at these terms will get a 12.2% return on their money for the life of that note. Okay. And obviously over here I have some other factors that I can factor in. Like if I was negative here significantly as far as what's invested, if I wanted to cash out the cost basis in the deal, I can pretty much sell the second note within 6 months and get about $12,000 for it. If I held on to it for a little bit longer, obviously I can hypothecate it and do other things to get our money back. So this is the beauty of having that liquidity. Also in this formula, I have things where I can run it where, let's say, we were just doing this as a partnership, right? And I just ran this at 1 and you guys didn't charge me points up front, right? That changes the model down here. Now I get money up front, right? So that's money based on my model saying, hey, if all things considered, if you were to sell this, this is what you can project to have down payment wise once insurance and all these things are taken care of, because this is taken in consideration that I will hold this for at least a month. Obviously longer, it can pretty much make the numbers different. But this is how I model. This is how I get to my numbers. Everything I do is calculated. Then I would then go here and I can show you the benefit, obviously, of being the bank, which I'm pretty sure you guys know. On a deal where it's $103,680, first position note, that payment is $940 a month. If that note was held for 10 years, which I've already scrolled down to, and the client didn't refinance for 10 years, there's still a balance due of $94,877 to be paid off, plus the payments that we would receive over that 10-year period, right? So the value of this one note is equivalent to be at 10 years from now to almost be worth almost 3 times, right? So when you factor in the cash flow that you get every month and the note where the balance will be paid off when they do pay it off, yeah, it's a significant return on investment. So if you wanted to keep the first note, you can keep it and reap those benefits as well. And then also we still have a second note. And when I went here and I did the calculations for the actual buyer, this just messed up on me. Man, let me see. Okay, here we go. Yep, here it is. So for the buyer, if they did this deal with us at 10.5% interest over a 30-year mortgage, they're only paying $17.95 a month in, for a mortgage. So I'll show you that rent was $1,800, sometimes $1,900. Obviously, this apartment can rent for $1,700, but for the right buyer that wants this property, they're going to basically pay the same amount in mortgage per month versus rent. And obviously, people will say the interest rate is high, this, that, and the third. But hey, we're not the bank. But the reality is, almost 30% to 40% that you're paying every month to, for your mortgage, like that's a deduction for your taxes. So really, when you compare this to rent is an infinite interest rate versus a mortgage. A mortgage, you get more deductions, you get depreciation, you get so many more benefits of being an owner. So I just wanted to show you that. Hope that helps. And yeah, let me know. Let's do some deals.